Good night. How do you say good night in Chinese? Buenas. Okay. Can you say good night in Spanish? It's buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Again. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Okay, that's better. Again, the last time. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Okay, good night. It's a round of applause for you because you did it very well. Okay, thank you very much. This is Guatemala. I like to think Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua not just three separate countries. I like to think them as a block because we are stronger as a block. We like to say that Guatemala is the engine of Central America. I want to introduce you a little bit of my country. It's okay for you? It's a short video. It's okay?
Yes.
Thank you very much for that.
Guatemala, heart of the Mayan world. Guatemala is one of the 7 countries that make up the Central American Isthmus, and it's located at the geographical center of the American continent. Guatemala is the country that has the most of the Mayan civilization. Actually, we are the one and only country who still has living Mayan culture, making us the true heart of the Mayan world. The original name is Guatemalan, meaning land of the trees, and with the official name of Republic of Guatemala. With a population of 16,514,591 and a territorial extension of 108,890 square kilometers. Guatemala has a political division of 22 departments, and the capital city is named Guatemala City. The currency use is named Quetzal, with an exchange rate of $1 to 7.60 quetzales. Spanish is the official language, but there are 21 more of Mayan origin. In major cities, you can find bilingual people that can assist you in the English language. The climate is an average 22 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit, making it a place comfortable to be outside at any time of the year. And that is why it is called the land of eternal spring. You can find 7 perfectly structured regions. Guatemala, modern and colonial. It's well known that Guatemala City is one of the most modern and cosmopolitan cities of the region, but still preserves the historical heritage, blended perfectly with the modern lifestyle. A city in constant change, offering chic shopping centers, hospitals, and state-of-the-art aesthetic centers, as well as world-class venues for exhibitions, conferences, meetings, theme parks, and golf courses. Close to the city, you can discover La Antigua Guatemala, the third established capital by the Spanish. Founded in 1543 and named Ciudad de Santiago de los Caballeros de Guatemala in 1566. After the plagues, floodings, and earthquakes of 1773, it ended up destroying it. In order to create a new capital, the inhabitants gradually gave life again to the city that today is one of the biggest touristic attractions of Guatemala due to its colonial architecture. It is an urbanism and colonial architectural jewel that preserves its features as if time had stood still. It was declared by UNESCO a World Heritage Site in 1979 because of its immense cultural and historical value. Petén, adventure in the Mayan world. Guatemala is the birthplace of one of the most important pre-Columbian Mesoamerican civilizations of history, the Mayan culture. Its economical, political, religious, and social development was transcendental, which still amazes both locals and foreigners. A great quantity of traces, perfectly restored archaeological areas, have been visited by thousands of people from different parts of the world, who have been astounded by the testimony left by this culture. A civilization started more than 900 years before Christ, with people that were well known for their astronomy and mathematical knowledge and considered one of the biggest civilizations in the world, that left us with such amazing architectural structures and glyphs that are pieces of art to the world. The city of Tikal, located in Petén, is one of the most well-known sites with amazing temples that make you feel the experience of the Mayan culture. Tikal means place of voices, and with its 576 square kilometers, it is one of the largest cities ever created in the Mayan realm. Altiplano and the living Mayan culture. The Guatemalan Altiplano, natural diversity and richness in fauna and flora that makes it one of the most popular destinations in the country. Here, you can keep looking at the heritage of the living Mayan culture, full of color, in such amazing textiles handmade by the modern Mayan people of Guatemala. All over the country, but mostly at the local market of Chichicastenango, 3 hours from Guatemala City, which was awarded internationally for the colorful view, full of culture that mixes perfectly traditional dances with joy and color. Here, you can also find, according to National Geographic, the most beautiful lake in the world, Atitlan, located at 1,600 meters above sea level and 18 kilometers surrounded by volcanoes, and at the lakeshore, you can find small towns, making it a majestic, beautiful landscape. Pacifico, magical and diverse. With its volcano beaches, the Pacific coast is an exceptional seaside location. Strictly protected sea turtles and other animals live here. And here you can also see humpback whales from December to April. This Pacific region is one of the best fishing areas for the sailfish, and the second best in the world for this sport. You can also hike the Pacaya volcano and see the active crater to feel the earth alive. But if you prefer amusement parks, Chocomil and Chetulul are the places to visit. They have been awarded among the best parks in the world as a place to have fun, joy, and laughter in creative thematic places. Visited by thousands of tourists, Guatemala has a variety of activities, such as golf, rafting, cycling, horseback riding, sport fishing, surfing, diving, extreme sports, and motorcycling, including shopping malls, markets, handcraft stores, and prestigious boutiques as an excellent alternative for visitors, where they can buy colorful handmade textiles, silver and jade jewelry, prestigious brand clothing, and accessories. There are also museums, nightlife, and restaurants for all preferences and budgets in Guatemala. You will be able to find those of international and national specialties. In Guatemala, you'll be able to enjoy the delicious gastronomical blend between Spanish and Guatemalan traditional cooking. You can never be bored here. There is something new to explore, whether you like adventure, relaxation, beauty, culture, archaeology, or nature. Guatemala is the secret. Discover it.
This is Guatemala. To be honest, if you visit Guatemala, you're going to find like a 5-star vacation in a very short time. It's beautiful. I know it's my country, but believe to me, it's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. We have some data of our country. We have like right now, according to the last census, we have more than 17 million people, and an extension like this, as Ambassador Rivera said, it's more or less like Taiwan, 3 times Taiwan. But what I found here when I came here to Taiwan is that it's very similar. The landscape, it's very similar here in Taiwan with Guatemala because of the mountains. You have a lot of mountains in the center. We have a lot of mountains in the center. But we have also volcanoes. Actually, in Guatemala, we have barely 3 volcanoes. It's a lot of earthquakes too, like here in Taiwan. But okay, this is Guatemala City. Well, you are going to see everywhere a volcano in Guatemala. Okay, there are some data. I don't like too much the data, but some of this important data is that we have a GDP or more or less than $78 billion. Guatemala, it's a very good modern city, but why to invest in Guatemala? Because our macroeconomic it's so stable. We have been stable with the exchange rate, like the same exchange rate like 15 years ago. The macroeconomic is so stable as the other countries in Central America, very well located, logistic platforms. As I told you, we have access to the main markets in America, to the United States and to Mexico. This is important. I think we are very well connected with Honduras, and we're going to be very well connected with Nicaragua and El Salvador. And that's why I think that we are a bloc, you know? Okay, let's do it. This is interesting. In our region, our median age is 22 years old. We are all guys in our country. And it seems like a joke, but really, in Guatemala, 74% of the people has less than 30 years. Imagine, we're all guys in our countries. You are a great-grandfather. Yeah, and that's more or less the distribution of median age in the world. And this is Guatemala. It's 22 years old. Okay. As I said, this is. I like to think of our countries as a block. Guatemala net income gross, it's $87 billion. But if you sum all the Central American countries, it sums $365 billion. It's very important if you take us as a region, you know.
This all free zone?
These all free zone, yeah, and we have very good FTAs with a lot of countries, including Taiwan, of course. In Guatemala, this is our main export sectors. Digital services. Digital services, it's important in Guatemala because we're a young people, a young country. Everyone has a cell phone in Guatemala. You know, it's funny because we're 18 million people, but we have 24 million cell phones. Everyone has one or two cell phones in Guatemala. And digital services, fishery, call centers and BPOs, textile, manufacture, and of course, agriculture. We produce a lot of agriculture in Guatemala. A lot of data. Okay, here are some points, quick points. We produce papaya, banana, sugar, coffee, textile in agriculture. Just to very quick, more than 60 years of friendship with Taiwan as these countries. Just to show you a little bit, this is what we export from Guatemala to Taiwan. Yeah, and mainly sugar and coffee. Actually, we have the 15% of the market share of coffee here in Taiwan. There are a lot of coffee, Guatemalan coffee, and actually in many Starbucks in the world you can find our coffees. But if you want good coffee, you have to ask next time Guatemala, Honduras, or Nicaragua coffee. Yes, please. Okay, we export coffee, shrimps, some textiles. Okay, and this is we import from you a lot of chemicals, mainly machinery, plastics. Vehicles, I guess, a lot of vehicles, a lot of motorcycles. Yeah, and something. Okay, this is Just to share 2 or 3 examples of how to take advantage of this relationship. As we were talking, I think that you have to think, the opportunity is to think our region like an extension of Taiwan in America. Why? Because imagine, Taiwan has just 15 diplomatic allies. You know that, right? But of those 15, 4 of them are Central American. Yeah. That means that Central America is very Taiwan oriented. Yeah. That means that you can think Central America as an extension of Taiwan in America to make business with North America, South America, and Europe, and take advantage of our FTAs. And this is one of the examples. There is a Taiwanese company that they produce papaya with Taiwanese technology in Guatemala to sell this papaya to the United States. And they saw Guatemala as an extension of Taiwan, because in Taiwan you don't have much land, yeah, but we do. That's why, and it's cheaper to send instead of send the papaya from Taiwan to the United States. It's cheaper to produce in Guatemala, and there are some companies doing this with mushrooms, coffee, papaya, pineapple, and some other products.
Free duty?
Yeah, of course, free duty. Yeah. There's a lot, some companies, as I told you, there is one company producing, with Taiwanese technology, they are producing mushrooms, and yeah, they are the next ones. Okay, but this is agriculture. It's a good way to see Guatemala. But I have, this is not Taiwanese, but I put this idea because digital services, it's something it's growing a lot in our region. For example, this is Zoom. It's a company of PayPal. Do you know PayPal? Yes. Okay, this is a subsidiary of PayPal, and their headquarters are in Guatemala. Why in Guatemala? Because you have a lot of young people, and they're very skilled, but it's cheaper compared to United States or other countries. And that's the reason that they are producing a lot of software or services, digital services from Guatemala to the other countries. Guatemala, for example, Guatemala is one of the most famous places in the world to learn Spanish. You know, because our Spanish is very neutral, and there are a lot of companies that they are trying to do something to learn Spanish to other regions from Guatemala. Other example is that we have some companies producing for movies, digital effects for movies. Like, did you see that movie Narnia from Disney?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, most of the digital effects were produced in Guatemala.
Oh.
They hired the talent there. They are very creative people. They're very young people and cheap people for compared to the other countries. You know. Okay, that's why my invitation is to think Guatemala as an extension, or our countries as an extension of Taiwan. You know. And the best way to connect or to introduce Taiwanese companies to this region. Well, there are 2 more slides, but this is we have good incentives, and it's very cheap to open a company in Guatemala. It's less than more or less like $600. It's very cheap to open a company. But as I told you, my invitation is to be creative. This is our startup company, startup association. We are very startup oriented in Guatemala. We love the startups because right now, because of the pandemic, I think that we are on the edge of the transformation to digital service. For example, e-commerce. Here in Taiwan, it's very well developed, the e-commerce, but in America, even in Mexico, it has not been very well developed, the e-commerce. But because of the COVID, I believe that this is the time for this new kind of companies, innovation. Just to finish, many businessmen from my country told me, hey, what can we do with Taiwan? Because they are, this is just in between us, but they, in our countries, most of the businessmen, they think Taiwan as China. Yeah, sorry to that, but this is the truth. But and they told me, hey, we need to find cheap things in Taiwan. Hey, no. Taiwan is not for cheap things. Taiwan is for innovation. Taiwan is for creativity. And I think that this innovation and this creativity is the thing that we can take to our countries. Yeah, we don't need from Taiwan the cheap things. We need from Taiwan this kind of innovation. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. This visit our countries, and you're going to be treated as a VIP visitor. Believe in me.
Thank you very much. Thank you for Ambassador Willy Gomez.